Yeah, really good. I climbed a lot since the last time you
Really? Really?
yeah. I was bronze 5 when you coached me and now I'm gold 5, so it's pretty
Wait, I
good.
remember this. Was it mid? Wait, I remember a session. Wait, it
Uh,
wasn't Midtown. It was Junkertown, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah, yeah, and it was the stupid clip with the stupid Echo just spamming the door for like 6 hours, right?
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
put
yeah,
that
yeah. Yeah, I did.
you
I
uploaded
made
that
me
on your
laugh. That
channel.
made me laugh so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I remember you because you were the guy that I was like, man, there's no way this guy is gonna stay bronze. Because you were like really smart, like you knew exactly how to play. You just kept messing up the details. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, where are you
Thanks.
at now? Sorry, I didn't even hear what you said. I'm totally
Uh,
like
um
ignoring you. Sorry.
no, it's okay. I was in bronze and then now I'm gold 5, which is pretty good, I
Congrats!
think.
Dang, that's a
Thank you.
massive improvement. Massive improvement.
Yeah, thank
What?
you.
Where were you rank wise? Bronze like 2 or something like that? I can't remember.
I was bronze 5.
You were bronze 5. Okay,
Yeah.
wow. So you're like bottom 5% player, and now you are 50% like average.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I can't believe it.
That's crazy. Okay. So let's start with this. What have you done? I won't even say what have you done differently. What have you done since then? What does practice look like? What is your approach inside the game, outside the game? If you learned anything, if you applied the game differently, what happened?
I think mostly I've just been practicing the things that we talked about, but I've been practicing some other things as well. And I normally just go into a game and just try to practice one thing, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. How's the practice been going? And what
Um,
stuff? I mean, obviously, I can look at our notes back here and I can guess because it's Reaper. But what kind of stuff were
yeah,
you practicing, and how did that practice go?
yeah, yeah. It was like timing and a couple of things with mechanics. I was also practicing.
Like what?
Uh, like you when to use Wraith
Yes.
and
Yeah.
like playing against like how do you teleport to get to um how do I explain this? Like yeah, like using teleport to get to heroes who are like farther
Yes.
away from me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. 100%. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. How'd that all go?
I mean yeah, pretty good I think. Like
Obviously, something happened.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Um yeah. It was pretty
Here's an interesting question for you. This one, I'm curious. Do you feel like you had like an epiphany with your practice, or do you feel like nothing else, nothing really changed? You just were like, "Oh, I'm gold 5."
yeah. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm that much of a better player
Yeah,
when I
that
was
was my
bronze. I
experience
feel
as
like
well. That was my experience
yeah.
as well when I ranked, because I started in bronze too. Um, I didn't really feel like I was a lot better, but then I'd like go back and look at some of my early gameplay, and I was like, man, like just felt like everything was worse. That's
Yeah, no,
interesting.
that's interesting. Yeah, no, same for me. It just kind of just like happened, I guess. Yeah.
Did you ever go back and watch the video of you?
Yeah, once. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what you think of it now. I bet you catch all the things because you're like you don't feel better or different, and then you go back and you're like, oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's probably like night and day.
Yeah. I'm sure it really is. I think that's generally how learning works. It's sometimes we have like this fantasy of like, oh, I figured out this one tip and I understood and the game like clicked. But a lot of times like improvement and everything is just like kind of like it's not very flashy. You just do all the
Yeah,
things. You
no.
just practice one thing like you were saying, and it's often something kind of simple, and you just do it over and over again, and then you're better at it doing it. And then like right now, for example, do you think more than you did when we first got your review?
Do I think more? No, I don't think I do.
It just happens, right? It's because you
Yeah.
were right, So a lot of the things that you have now are autopiloted. Like you've autopiloted a lot of skills now. So, good. That's awesome, mate. Like that is a significant improvement. Like that is a huge jump. So
Thanks.
congratulations on the skill increase. And we're back now. I don't know when you booked this session. Was this? I imagine a couple months ago.
Yeah.
What was it? Just a continue to improve? That was the goal, or what?
Yeah. Yeah, I just to continue to improve and I think like I did some self-involved review and I found some things that I
Ah.
could improve on, but I thought it was kind of tricky to figure out what,
Sure.
I was
What
doing
did you
wrong sometimes.
what did you pick up from what you could see?
Mm, well, sometimes it was just like I just couldn't get close to a person I wanted to shoot.
Ah,
So that was when I just had to get like I would just practice like being sort of creative with shadow step
I bet you like this
and
recent
like
patch, didn't you?
yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
Is it palpable? Like I've played literally 2 games since the patch. Have you noticed the change?
Yes, and the spread change as well feels really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I'm really pleased with those changes, and I think obviously they talked about in a few months ago. I think there's something going on with Wraith as well in the works. Um, so I guess we'll keep an eye on that too. So that should be
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah, it would be.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm really glad to hear that you've been doing some self review as well. I mean, ultimately, like here's the thing: it's like the best. I'm happiest when I never hear from my students again. Outside of hey, I hit my goal. I've been enjoying the game. And sometimes that's it. Like I'll never hear from them again. But sometimes they'll hit their goal and they'll just kind of play casually and then they move on, and that's great, And I think like for you taking a couple look at your reviews or your VOD and getting some ideas about how you could have approached heroes differently. I mean that to me is I think the biggest skill check with Reaper. When you're playing Reaper in pro play, and this is how a lot of times when I coached Overwatch League Reapers, right? A lot of it was like Wraith discipline mechanics, right? Like really, really like timing stuff like that. And that stuff is important. But I think the biggest challenge for the ranked player is your setups. Because, you're playing into Widowmakers and Zenyatta's. You know what I'm saying? Like pro Overwatch League players are playing, they're not, whenever the Reaper has been meta, it's usually like a Brawl Mirror or something like that, right? Like a Winston Diva, Ryan, something like that, right? And, you wish that was all you played versus, right? Have you ever played, into a Widowmaker on Junkertown? Have you ever played into like a Hanzo Torb on Shambali third attack, right? Like it's miserable, right? Like it's really, really challenging. So I feel it's like, your creativity is your limit. And so I'm glad to hear that you're doing that. And I would encourage you to continue to do that anytime that you have like a really bad map. Go into replay viewer and try to find when and where your setups could have been cleaner. Like where could you have set up better? Like what angles could you have taken? Because I think that's like kind of like that's your limit of your skill really with Reaper, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. And then obviously if any like really tough spots, you can always just message me. But I'd love to have work on problem solving that. Okay, short-term goals here on the forum says I'd like to hit gold. Down the line, I want to reach Grandmaster. Ambitious, but it's possible. I've worked with a couple of GM Reaper one tricks, and it's always challenging. But I think especially with these recent changes, I think it's more possible than it's been before. Okay, you play Overwatch around an hour or 2 per day. Is that about the same?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on break for university, so I can play a little bit more now. But,
Okay. Now, obviously, we'll skip through most of this form because, well, let's put it this way. Do you have any questions about schedule? Because we went over that in depth last time, but I don't want to. If you have any questions, we can go over it again.
Oh, what do you mean by schedule?
Like your training, like just practice.
Yeah, I guess like how many like hours or games per day do you think I would like need to play to improve?
From where you are right now, let's say gold to plat. I would say the benchmark for playtime should be probably around 4 to 5 games per day. So around just over an hour per day would be optimal. And I'd try to get that around 5-6 days per week if possible. Now, you're probably playing more than that, but the question is, are you playing with intention? Are you playing ranked? Are you playing 5 to 6 days per week? Or do you play like 4 or 5 hours? And then, because like a lot of us treat games casually, right? Which is fine. But if you want to improve beyond average, you can't treat it quite as casually. And I think like the consistency of play is probably the biggest thing. And then to get to like Diamond or Masters, I would say you probably need to approach 2 hours per day. And Grandmaster would be 2 to 3. But for right now, let's just focus on getting you to plat and see if you're still having fun.
Yeah, sounds good.
Because what ends up happening is people will be like, "Oh, no, hit Grandmaster," and I'm like, "All right, well, this is the amount of playtime required," and they'll try to do it immediately. Like they'll try to just jump to 4 hours per day, and they burn out. They don't like it. It's like don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is an interesting point here. You say mentality is still a bit of an issue. I started to lose a game. It makes you tilted. It's hard to focus when that happens, of course. And then time, obviously. So time is like whatever. Like there's nothing you can do about time too much. You just do what you can. But the tilt, let's talk briefly about that. How's that going since you filled out the form?
I mean, I don't think it's really any better since I wrote that.
Okay. So what tends to happen? Give me the lead up until things start to go downhill.
Yeah. I mean, I could just be playing a game and then maybe I start to die a lot or, that sort of thing. And, it just makes me mad. And then I just try to focus on winning the game rather than practicing. and it's just not really that fun.
Sure.
And even if it's like one game, if I lose one game, it makes me mad. It's kind of, yeah, it's pretty annoying.
So the question I have for you, is it losing that tilts you, or is it playing poorly or getting punished or whatever that often ends up with you losing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you ever won games and still felt tilted?
Um, I think most of the time it's just losing. But yes, there are a few times that I think I
But
get
mostly the
tilted.
losing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you say the losing tilts you, does it happen after the loss, then you're tilted? Or does it happen during the game as you're about to lose it as well?
During the game, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. And then do you feel like why does it bother you so much? Are you bothered by your quality of play? Are you bothered about the fact that I'm about to lose SR or what? Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah. But,
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. And you know this is a problem because it is distracting you.
yeah.
So I assume that since this has been a problem for some time, and you seem like a pretty smart guy, like what are some things that you've tried or approached or practiced, or maybe some habits or things that you've tried to do to help deal with this?
I mean, yeah, I've tried a lot of like how how would I describe it? Like techniques, so I guess, or just like things you can like tell yourself to make you calm down, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. How has that gone?
Yeah.
And what kind of stuff have you done?
Mm, I mean, just things like keeping perspective, or just like trying to be like mindful or something.
Sure.
Um,
Sure.
I tried a lot, but I don't think it hasn't really helped. I don't think.
Okay. Why do you think that is?
Why?
Kind of a tough question, I know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know.
Okay. When you got to gold on Reaper, remember we talked about this. What changed? Where was the epiphany for you? Right? Felt remember didn't really happen. Right? It just kind of
Yeah.
it took a lot of work. It took a lot of intense work, and honestly, like not very flashy either. Right? Like I don't exactly going to get a lot of clicks on YouTube making a video about timing as your quick way to get to gold, right? It's kind of boring, right?
Yeah.
And you could probably see where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the time when we're trying to develop any sort of skill, there isn't really any quick fix a lot of times, not for most people, right? Usually it's just, you just need to get better at dealing with that kind of a thing. So, really your ability to compete and train and be able to deal with adversity is a skill like anything else. And it's something that you need to practice. Now, for you, the reason why you should practice it is not just because of Overwatch, but that's probably a good life skill to have. And if it's hurting your ability to, win games and stay focused after first losses, and honestly, just your enjoyment of the game as well, then we need to address that. So here's what I would recommend. I think that you said that you've tried some different things. Some of them have not, worked, at least with the level of intent and time that you've put into them. I want us to revisit those things again. But this time, I want you to tell, instead of going to an expert, right, who may or may not know your full situation or what works better for you, I really want you to tell me what immediately stands out to you as being something that you would like to try again and reevaluate when it comes to this. Like, what is a habit that you can get into, like timing your engages with Reaper, that will affect, you think, or should affect, you think, your quality of play during your tilt?
Oh, okay.
Take your time. Think about it for a minute or two.
Yeah. You mean like a thing I can practice in
Sure.
in game? Is that what you mean?
In game, out of game, breathing,
Right.
focus. Taking breaks. I mean, there's a lot of little things I'm sure you've looked up or come across, and so what are those things immediately stands out? There might have been one that immediately comes to mind. What is that?
Yeah. So, sorry, I'm just trying to understand the question. Do you mean like things I can do like with my gameplay, or do you mean like mental?
More mental, yeah, more mental, or with your gameplay that will help your mental. I don't know. I'm kind of it is a purposefully kind of vague, open-ended question.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me think for a second.
Take your time.
Well, there was this one thing I heard about, like, just like, yeah, I guess like maybe like keeping perspective is like the most effective one I have tried.
Okay. In what way?
Um, um,
Coach
well,
it
it
to
just
me.
makes
Pretend I'm the tilted person, right? Tell me, like, how does it work?
well, I would tell you maybe to like, even though the game is bad, like at least you're playing a game that you enjoy overall and
Okay.
stuff.
Okay. Okay.
So it's not that bad.
Sure. So keeping perspective. So now the question is you're educating me, but obviously you've been educated before. You know it's not that bad, and yet you're still tilted, right? So how can you turn that perspective into a habit? Because we got to train your mentality, right?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I guess I could just go into games and practice that.
Okay. How would you practice that?
Well, just like if I start to feel tilted, I could just make a point of telling myself what I just said,
Sure.
if that
How
makes
would you
sense.
do it, and when would you do it? How would you approach telling yourself that?
Um, I guess like I would just go into games with like the intention of practicing that, I guess.
Sure. Keeping perspective, setting that as a goal. Okay.
Yeah.
What else? That's a great one. So you go into the game with the intention of keeping perspective. Is there any other small habit or training approach that you could throw in there too? Maybe you could take
Um,
turns practicing this and something else.
yeah. Um, maybe like I think like maybe like self-confidence or just like believing in yourself. I know it's kind of a cliche, but
It's a
I
cliche
think
because it's overused, but it's overused because it's important.
yeah.
So what do you mean? How would you approach building confidence or trying to be more confident?
Yeah. Well, just like if I was like losing a game, or like dying a lot, I would just tell myself that like this time is going to be the time that that I turn this game around.
Okay. So when things are going poorly in a game, you're going to attempt to keep focus on doing your job, performing to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you do that? How,
I get.
how would you allow
I guess
yourself to
like
do that?
I guess like the same thing with the last one, just like intentionally sort of
Sure.
building the.
Sure. And that would be your goal in place of timing, right? Or positioning. Is that today I'm going to walk into every game, remind myself the perspective of what I'm doing, and then when the game goes poorly, whether I lose or I die or I make a mistake, trying to working on not practicing my ability to refocus and focus on the next fight. Does that
Yeah.
seem fair?
Yeah. That sounds good.
Okay. Let's let's take note of that right now. So practice going into games, reminding yourself of the perspective of what you're doing. Just a game for fun, improved a lot. And then when, if things get tough, loss, death, mistake, remind yourself of what you're there for and practice refocusing on next fight. Now, I'm very clear, we've not fixed your issues, okay? It's just like saying, hey, you need to get stronger. Here are some dumbbells. You still have
Okay.
to pick them up, right? And you can't just pick them up once. You got to pick them up every single day for a while, right? But there are the
Yeah.
dumbbells right there. You picked them out yourself. You bought them. Now use them. Use them.
Yeah.
And don't
Okay.
and don't feel upset if it's not very easy at the start or feels a little clunky or maybe your form doesn't feel right or you're not sure exactly. Practice it. You'll get it. You'll get it. This is what we want to practice. Sound good?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. No, that's
Yeah, of
helpful.
course. Now there's lots of different dumbbells you could use. You could do some more research into this topic and maybe come up with some new ideas. But don't just research. Act. Practice these skills. And you'll see improvement. All right?
Okay.
And then keep me updated with how this stuff goes too. Okay. Let's keep going here. I don't really have any other questions from your forum. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you want to get into some review or do you want to do some live coaching here? It's your choice.
Oh yeah, I mean, live coaching would be fun, but it's like kind of early in the morning. I didn't think anyone would. I don't think we would get a game.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I also don't know. You're through console, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know how easy it is to screen share with console either.
You can do it, but
Okay.
it's whatever.
Okay.
Um,
What's up to you? Up to you.
okay. Well, I have a code that I can
Let's
see
do it.
if you want.
Let's do it. Do you want to see something really tragic? Check this out.
Yeah, sure.
So the season 11, right? Thursday, right? Ready for my gameplay history? One game. I played one game. I was out of town all weekend, and I've been all coaching and such, and I've only played once since season 11's gone live.
Okay, that's pretty sad. I guess.
It's pretty tragic. I've been way too busy. It sucks. So I'm hoping to address that tomorrow, but we'll see.
Okay.
I forget how amazing your name is, Antifa Cider.
Thanks. You're the only one who's ever pronounced it correctly.
That's hilarious. Okay.
Thanks.
Why this VOD? Why this code?
I mean, like, same thing with you. I wasn't able to play that many games.
Sure. But you had a couple to choose from and you chose this one, I assume. So why?
Well, I think it's a close game, you know.
Gotcha. So just
really
close
the only
game, nothing
reason.
particular? Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been working on timing, I assume on setting up as well. You also were saying like using your teleport kind of like with the setup as well. Anything else? Working on?
No, that's it.
Okay. So the good news is that we don't have to sit here and explain things to you. The bad news is we are going to be a little bit repetitive because oftentimes it's not necessarily teaching, especially with the second time through. It's just reminding, right? This is still an issue. This has been a lot better and so on.
Okay, sounds good.
I like holding off and shooting here. That's good.
Thanks.
Great angle, great approach. Stupid turret. Good job.
Annoying.
Yeah, definitely annoying. Good angle, good shots here. Yeah, there's no real complaints here. The only thing I'd say here is that as your level of play improves, like the people that you're playing with improves, you might want to be a little bit smarter with your setup here. So you come in from an angle, and I want you to kind of look overhead here. And you don't shoot, you keep it quiet, and you just basically walk into the Moira. Blam! Nice shot.
Thanks.
As your level of play increases, I mean, even where you're at right now, 20, 30, 40% of the time, they're going to see you. They're going to see you approaching right here. So what's the flaw with this approach?
Yeah. It's just like too easy for them to like shoot me.
Right.
Like,
It's kind of an awareness check, right? They might pass, they might fail. If they fail, you win. If they pass, then you kind of screwed, right? It's still a good play. This is better than Bronze 5, right? But approach this engagement from a different strategy. What would you do differently here?
Yeah. Well, maybe I could just teleport on the ledge and drop on them.
Yeah, I agree. I think you could teleport up top. I think you could even teleport behind. Any one of those options is great. And why is that appropriate here? Because obviously you're closing the distance, right? But where are you closing the distance from? Why would a teleport here or here be appropriate?
I guess because like it's on an angle, they wouldn't see it.
It's coming from an angle. You also have a little bit of cover when you're doing it too, and ending in cover, right? You're ending on a corner. You kind of see what I'm saying? So you want to, generally when you're teleporting, you want to go from cover to cover on an angle. Cover, angle. CCA, right? Sounds like a government ministry or something. The CCA is going to come after you if you're not careful. You know? IRS, the CCA, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Torture.
Yeah, those guys.
Freaking hate those guys, man.
Yeah, so.
It's fine. I mean, besides that, I have no complaints. You were shooting the right targets at the right time. Mechanics were fine. The Wraith with the Mega was good. Nothing really to say. Like, I even like this, right? Like, this is getting kind of messy, right? You're like, I'm getting surrounded. Get out of here, right? TP on an angle, take the high ground. Again, you notice that you're TPing to cover, right? So you're not going to get punished for this teleporter, right? And then you're approaching the Moira. I assume you're looking for the Moira from behind, right? Which is good. Yeah, it's good. Only thing I'd say here is just give a little bit more respect right now. Because I know you're like, oh, I'm full now. Yeah, but you're down your Wraith, right? So I would still do what you're doing now, but I think I would hug this corner a little bit more. Rather than coming here, I think I just kind of, just to be cautious, right? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're down your Wraith, just do what you're doing now. Just be a little bit more careful.
Okay.
But other than that, this is fine. I mean, even though you're not doing anything, you're you're still on the angle. They either ignore you and you kill them, or they look at you and, you know, you're fine. And not only are you fine, but you actually have the advantage in this 1v1. So, yeah, you're good. Yeah, that was good. Good stuff.
Thanks.
And then again, retake TPing from cover to cover, and you're right back on the angle again, right? Good job. Yeah, no complaints. There's a very clear gold level of play here, you know? It's not a mystery why we're, you know, not bronze 5 anymore.
Yeah, no, I guess not.
There's a lot of things that you're doing better here. A lot of things. Like even this, like right there, not dying there unnecessarily, really good. Okay. Promise you I won't compliment you the whole lot. You know, might have a couple of critiques here and there.
No, that's why I sort of...
I mean, even this, right? This is so cute. I freaking love this. This is great. Look at that. Like you now, normally this is like way too far forward, right? But why are you here?
Well, my tank is pushed up, so I thought I better...
So stop. Bronze 5, you would not have paid attention to that. So this is actually really good. And there he goes. You win the advantage. He either has to disengage or you win the duel. You could chase this if you want to. Bang. If you don't chase that, you can then just take him out of the fight for free. This is fine. Get to cover, run. Oh, okay, you just egoed this one. I respect it.
Yeah.
And ironically, it's okay. If they're going to overextend and chase you, it's fine. If you're confident that you can get that kill, because, you know, Bap doesn't really have a way to live that, then yeah, he's fine. Because even if he lamps there, he still dies.
Yeah.
We're back on the angle. They're poking you out. Didn't realize they could see you there. Wraith out. Get to cover. Yeah, so my only critique here is kind of like what we talked about. Remember the CCA, right? This is not CCA because you're TPing from open to cover, right? So this is where, what small adjustment could you make to make this teleporter better?
Yeah, I mean, just like moving to like the corner on either side of the...
Just the tree, right? Just the tree here. I think it was more that you were not expecting them to chase you that hard, but do expect them to. Always expect them to. If you're wrong, who cares? You waste 1/10 of a second. It literally doesn't matter. But that adjustment alone, you live here. And yeah, I think you lose this fight regardless, but you're in a good setup for next fight. So.
Cool.
Okay, and see, this is kind of what we talked about, right? Even gold players have eyes, right? Like they definitely have eyes. Definitely more than bronze players, right? So you're being quiet here, and they're like, oh, no, we got you. So this is good. Good. And see, now you've done a really good job. Like you've really, like, look at the space the enemy team controlled, right? And then look what you and your Kiriko did, right? You see them getting crunched. This is good.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I'm going to ask you here. You tell me.
Yeah, like the yes, it's like not very like sneaky, you know.
This is not CCA friendly. We're gonna find they're gonna find you if you don't fix this, right? Like it's too far, right? It's too far. Like again, this would be an awareness check where you probably could walk all the way here and probably be okay. Turret would be annoying, but the problem is it's not just it's an awareness check, but also it's slow. Like if you teleport here, it probably saves you half a second.
Yeah.
So CCA. You know, like I mean, you got the turret, which is like, you know, that's fine. Someone's got to break it, but I think in general, approaching that fight differently here, I think would be a lot better. Okay, let's try this again. Definitely now. Yeah, see, now you're thinking about it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And he's dead. Bang. Yep. Perfect.
Thanks.
Wraith, grab the Mega. Perfect. Now you're and then this kills the Torb, right? Because he's locked in. He overloads you. and then dies. Right, so, I mean, it's perfect. And then you're still on the angle here, too. Sure. Sure. Come on, Soul. Reaper diff him. Reaper diff him. Good. Nice shots. I mean, that's just unfortunate. You died too fast to react.
Yeah.
And you need a CCA as well here. Because I know you're like, I need to walk forward, then teleport a point. Doesn't matter. Where's the fight happening right now?
Sort of like around these like buildings in the middle.
Right, right. So you're like locked in. I need to flank here, 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 here. But that's not where the fight's happening anymore. It's happening here. So where do you need to teleport to?
Yeah. Like on the balcony up there, if I can.
Yep. You can't walk forward here and just be like, oh, just please don't shoot me, guys. I need to teleport behind you. Like, that's just stupid, right? So like peek here, CCA, get the corner, go to here, go from here. Now we're cooking, right? Now we're cooking, right? So just be willing to change your angle if the enemy team pushes up. Be willing to, because it's funny, because you did such a good job when your team pushed up. You changed your angle. Remember that? You were over here, right? But then now the enemy team has pushed up on you, you've kind of fallen to pieces. You don't know how to set up anymore. Remember, like, you don't memorize flanks on the map. You take what the enemy team gives you. You take what your team gives you. You have to change your angle, right? Okay. Any questions so far?
No.
So mostly CCA, okay? I feel like that's it. Cover angle, and basically using your teleporter when you can, right? When you don't have to, when they're too far away, don't do an awareness check on them, right? Okay.
Can I ask you actually?
Yeah, please.
Like, what do you think of the timing so far? Because I've been practicing a bit. I feel like maybe it could be.
So, have you noticed me bringing up the timing at all?
No.
There's your answer. Okay. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
I won't stop yapping about timing if given the opportunity. So if I'm not talking about it, I'm depressed, and apparently you're good at it. So there you go.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so this is a perfect example right here. So you are locked in on this flank, right? Because you're like, I can get here, I can get here, I can get here. But look at what happens. Watch the blue circles, okay? You get there, the Moira's there. They're like, oh, frick, we got to get this guy out. Okay, so stop. Is this a flank anymore?
No.
No, it's not. Right.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, finish your thought. Because why?
Well, they're just like stacked in that little room. The tank is there.
You've kind of done your job here. What you've kind of done is you kind of made them go where they don't really want to go to deal with you. So that's annoying. But what does that mean for you?
I mean, it just means I have to go somewhere else.
That's it, right? It means you can't go here. But it does mean that it's easier to go elsewhere. Like, all of a sudden, now you could actually go over here. This is not usually where you'd roll out a Reaper, but now you can, right? So it's kind of the same thing as the last fight of the previous round, where you have like these set rollouts, and then if those rollouts get contested, you don't know where to go. But remember the rule, you're just looking for a short flank, that's it. Like anywhere where there's like cover. So this is like suicide because you got your Wraith forced, and you're still committing to it without Wraith, and when the single is contested. Like, even if you did have Wraith here, this probably wouldn't be all that good, right? It'd be too easy to clear you out. So let's go back, and you're going to peek here. Okay, where do you go? I know Torb's still there, a little tricky. What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, I could just, like, teleport to the other side of the point.
Yeah, you could teleport, like, over here. And then what would you do from here?
Like, use the columns as cover.
Yeah. Grab Mega, use columns as cover. Force overload, break turret, get pocket, force a Torb out, win the 1v1. If you get in trouble, Wraith out. If you're not, and then you can approach them from this side. Right. Yep, you got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that kind of screws you guys over. Okay, so now it's uncontested, so this is great. Yeah, I would just cut it short now. Good. Your mechanics are a lot better as well. You're snapping your camera over on these like more aggressive camera movements, and I know how hard that is on console. It's not always hitting, but like you seem a lot more comfortable with it, which is really good.
Thanks, yeah.
This is just mechanics, though. Like you Wraith this, Wraith this, Wraith this, Wraith this. Good. Just like food for thought. There is a mega here, and this would be better because it would allow you to stay on backline if you can.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just a reminder. But yeah, this is fine. This is like the only reason this is as hard as it is because you just missed all your shots. That's all. But the play was good, and that's all that matters. Team is kind of now. This is going to be interesting here because we've gone from they're stuffing things down your throat. They're not letting you take this angle at all. To now, this angle is totally free. But what's the problem?
No one else is there.
Right, they're so far away, right? And also your team isn't quite here. So let's say that your team is rezzing. We're getting ready to fight. Okay, so how do you approach this? This is rough. Where do you go?
Maybe teleport like behind the statue. I don't know.
Yeah. You could. It's awkward, but this wouldn't be bad. You could also hug here. Don't go for backline and off angle the tank.
Yeah. Okay.
The thing with Reaper is you just want a short off angle. You don't care if it's tank or DPS or support because you do okay tank damage. It's not amazing, but it depends on the tank. But it's okay. Like if you got here and shot the Sigma like here, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so what I would do is I would choose whether to go for backline or frontline depending on which angle feels better.
Yeah, okay.
Right? I liked backline last round. Remember the last round? Why? When we were fighting on point, why did backline feel better?
Where
were you going to be setting up?
Sorry, what was that?
Where were you going to be setting up on the last round?
Oh, right. I mean, there was just like more cover there, I guess.
Yeah. There's a lot of cover.
Yeah.
We were also talking about like teleporting above point, which just gave you free access to backline, all that kind of stuff. Like that made like that angle really good, right? Here, backline's still okay, but you even saw it with the Cassidy, like the last fight. Like it felt, even then it was like a bit of a reach. Here, going for backline's still fine, but it might be a little bit open. It might be awkward to get to them. In which case you kind of need to problem solve. Okay, like this is good. You see that's good. That was you know why it was good? Because it was easy, right? It was easy, right? Now from here, now you're like, oh crud. What do I do now?
Yeah.
I mean, this is okay. This is all right. As long as you Wraith here. And you Wraith the cover, right? It's good. Good. I want to point out as well, I know these things could be a little bit more intangible and hard to understand, but let's talk about what you've done here, okay? Let's look at this. Let's look at the blue circles, okay? Watch the blue circles change in the space that your team takes change over time. Watch. See them?
Yeah.
See the Sigma? That's you.
Yeah.
Then Sigma goes back, so who else goes back? Moira. Then Kiriko. Then now this is where the space that they hold, and look at you. So maybe this is a timing issue. Before you teleported here, you probably should have teched your team. This is maybe the first time we've had timing as being a potential issue, right? Okay. Look at the space. Look at the space. Look at the space. Look at the Sigma. Look at the soldier. Look at the Moira. Look at the Kiriko. Do you see it?
Yeah, I do.
And now look at what happens with your Pharah. You see this?
Yeah.
That's good. That's helpful, okay? That's very helpful. The only thing, obviously, there was just please make sure that just double check your team right here, right?
Yeah.
Right before you go. Because if you'd seen this, you would have seen, oh my gosh, my EDR is literally in the mega. Let's wait like 3 or 4 seconds, and then I'll do the exact same play, okay?
Yeah.
I think the part of the reason why you might have messed it up is because it wasn't the first time you'd shot. It was like mid-fight engagement, right? You'd already shot Sigma, but you still had time to check.
Yeah, okay.
Good.
Grab. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can I ask, like,
please?
Sometimes I have like maybe like 2 of my teammates like who are fighting, but like the other 2 are like not there yet. I'm just wondering, like,
great question.
Maybe
fight with the majority. Fight with the majority. So if your 2 teammates are fighting, it's kind of tricky, right? I'd probably fight with them. So let's go back to this because this is a good example of that, right? Why would I say wait here? Because who's fighting?
Yeah, I guess just kind of like Farah.
Yeah, a little bit of Farah, but not really all that much. So I would probably wait.
Yeah. Okay.
But if your Zarya, like let's say your Zarya was here, okay, even just here, I definitely would have gone in. Definitely would have gone in. Even with my Iliarian spawn, look at the front line. If the front line's committed, you need to commit to.
Yeah.
Because it is tricky. Like this is, your teammates will stagger and they won't follow the rules, right? But yeah. Okay. Great question. Good job here, grabbing the Mega. And then here, you don't even need to teleport in Soldier because there's a Cassidy right next to you. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Okay, good job. I like the setup here as well, because really wherever the fight happens, you'll have an angle on it.
Yeah.
There's like 3 different choices, really. Sure. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. It's worth.
I mean, yeah, I think it's worth it.
That's a kill's a kill. And I actually don't mind this either, because the reason you're not fighting here is because you're keeping that Cassidy out of the fight. And the second that you leave, and the problem is that like if you go here, like maybe you get shot by the Cassidy. So just stay here. This is a really close space. He can't really peek you without getting shot. You already gave your team an advantage with the Death Blossom. Like the soldier's dead. So this is a 4v or 3v2, right? Or 4v2, right? You don't need to do anything else. Just keep this Cassidy out of this fight. Yeah, no complaints. Uh-oh.
Sounds good.
Good. Yeah, man. I mean, all mistakes aside from some of the setups, and obviously timing occasionally, this is so much better. Like, it's not even like really a whole lot to say. Like, it's just it's clean. It's good.
Thanks.
You did a good job. Gentle reminder here: Wraith into TP probably the better rollout, just because. Yeah, the reason is because you want to make sure that you're taking space with Wraith on like 2 seconds cooldown or 3 second cooldown, not like 6 or 7 seconds. So what you do here is you'll like Wraith out to here, you teleport up to here, right? Let's say you choose right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll get here at like 2 or 3 seconds on Wraith, right? Or if you go the other way, same kind of thing, right? The only time you do TP first is if you immediately need to get to a high ground, like right now, and you don't need to. But you can kind of see like this is a little bit scary. And you see you're being too cautious, right? Like right now you should be pushing up very secretly, but obviously you don't have punch, or Wraith, excuse me, so you're being a little bit more cautious. So okay. This is good. I mean, if just be a little bit more patient with your timing here. You're just a few seconds early, but it's a close range little angle here. It's good. I really like Reaper on this map.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's a good map. Yep, no complaints. Yes, I was hoping you'd come up with this idea. Perfect. Yep. And what I would do here is don't overplay the assassination. What I mean by that is don't lock into killing Cassidy, and that's the only play. Just shoot what's convenient from this position. If Cassidy's here, great. If he's backed off, I mean, this Doomfist is cooked, right? And you don't even need to drop, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? So just sit here and shoot Doomfist. This is kind of similar to the Sigma thing with the previous round, where you were really locked in and going for backline, but it was kind of awkward to get to backline. So don't go for backline, just shoot what's convenient.
Okay.
Right? That being said, I really did like the setup there. That was good. That was definitely the angle you need to be playing.
Thank you.
Scary. That stupid orb.
Yeah, I know. I hate him.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to this here. Maybe you were thinking about the cast just to make sure he wasn't shooting you. Yeah, you're just making sure he wasn't shooting you. But yeah, this is just shoot what's convenient, you know? Warrior, Cassidy, whatever. He's too far away, shoot the Doomfist. More shooting Doom. Bam, there you go. Okay, I got to see what happens here. Good. Obviously pushing up a little bit because your Zarya is pushed up. And I like this. I like this. Again, you're paying attention. This is really good. This is really good. This is a silly play unless your Zarya's pushed up. She's pushed up, so you follow your Zarya.
Yeah.
Should be okay. Wraith out all the way. Hold the cover. This is probably too far. Yeah, I don't peek this. Don't peek this. So right here, how do you what's your level of aggression at this point in time? Like regardless of what you see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have Wraith, so it's pretty low.
You don't have Wraith. You just don't do anything yet. This is also like even if you did have Wraith here, I don't think I push this. Right, this guy's too far away. He's gonna hit one shot, and you're gonna have to duck. You're gonna need to duck and hide. Right, this is too far.
Yeah.
You should probably die here. Yeah. Oh wow, you got rest.
Yeah.
Okay. Angle here is good. Nice shots. A little bit scary there to go into the open. Good. Hold the angle here. That's okay. Should be all right. Oh, you missed the mini. Oh,
Yeah.
no. That sucks. That sucks. That sucks. If you got the mini there, I actually think you could have ulted that.
Oh, really? Yeah. No,
Yeah, because she had used sleep and nade. You get the mini, you're 110 HP. You'll kill her. She's dead.
Yeah.
Nice. True story. My first ever 6K in Overwatch 1 came at that exact same spot. Playing this character.
Oh, that's crazy.
I had never got a 6K until like 2021 or something crazy like that. I got a 6K, yeah. I think it was Mystery Heroes too, or something stupid.
No way.
Yeah, it was. Same thing here. Be very careful. I think it's just because you're popping off right now, but you're reaching a little far here, right? Just let them come in. Let them come in. This,
okay.
It's too far. And if you were to go for backline here, how would you approach backline? From where?
Yeah, maybe like going down the stairs.
Yes, exactly. It just sneakier, and it also gets you closer, right? It's too direct, right? This is no longer an angle anymore. I think what's happened is that you've just kind of dominated, and so you're just kind of getting a little loose with it. So this always happens. You get loose with it, you get shot, and you're like, oh, man, I should probably not do that anymore. And then you fix it the next fight. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Like that right there. Just don't chase. It's too far. Everybody's too far right now. Everybody's too far. Oh yeah, see, this is total. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. It's no surprise to me that you're gold 5. There's actually so many things. Your setups are better, your cover usage is better, your mechanics are better, your positioning is better, your off angles are better, wraith management is better, everything is better. Now, what I would like to do is, well, I guess the question is what do you want to do? Because we could take some notes here, but I'm not sure if we're finished with the review or if you want to do some live coaching or what the plan is.
I mean, like I'd be down to give you another code, but like live coaching, I'd be down to do live coaching as well. But like as I said, like we could queue, but I don't think we would.
Sure. What would quick play be like? Queue time wise.
Yeah, same thing. I just think I would not get a game, unfortunately.
Okay, correct. Here's what let's do. I want you to jump into queue, quick play, and give me a code at the same time. And then just have your audio on, and obviously if it pops, then we'll go. Okay, sounds good. You have to just give me 1 second. I gotta walk to my Xbox real quick. Take your time. Greetings, everybody. Hope everyone's having a good day. I had kind of a rough start today, but overall, it's been good. Overall, it's been good. Looking forward to the Alec Dawson interview tomorrow because today is Tuesday. Not going to be streaming today, which is definitely out of the ordinary. But other than that, I'm doing okay. I'm back. Welcome back. Thanks. Do you have any questions about anything we spoke about? Because we did kind of touch on a little bit of everything. Yeah, I did. I think I wrote one down. Give me 1 second. Of course.
Oh, do you have like any advice you could give me for like I could coach myself better?
Sure, sure. So when we looked at your review, right, we talked a couple of things like how you're approaching staging for fights, your wraith management, really like trying to reach too far or looking for bad, like forcing deep angles. So, out of all that we've looked at, what do you think would be a good question that you could just ask yourself over and over again when you're reviewing yourself? Like, what's an easy hack to review yourself from what you've seen?
Hmm. Um, you mean like replay
Yeah,
viewers? Is that what you mean?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, did you want me to send you a code or something?
Yeah, sure. In the meantime.
There you go.
Got it.
And you wanted a queue, right?
Yes. Q for quick play. Because that'll probably be surely a little bit shorter.
Yeah. And do you want me to share my screen or?
If you can, yeah.
I might have to join the. Um. 1 second.
Sure. I know it's awkward, like I said, with console.
Yeah. I can share my screen on my Xbox, but I can't do it in like a direct messages thing. It has to be in a server.
Oh, okay. So maybe we'll skip. Let's just do a little bit more review then. Let's just do a little bit more review and we'll call from there. But I want to go back to your question because it was a really good one. No, it's totally fine. Like I said, it's really tough. How do I coach myself? Okay. What did we look at in the review? What was a large chunk of what we talked about in the review?
Like CCA.
CCA. Do you think that you could CCA coach yourself with CCA?
Yeah.
Probably. Would you make mistakes? Yeah, probably. Would you come up with bad ideas? Yeah, probably. But would it mostly be productive? Yes. That's it. So CCA yourself. Okay. Investigate yourself for tax fraud. Okay.
Okay.
So let's practice that right now.
Okay.
Are you still on my stream?
Yeah.
Gotcha. With the information that you have, with where your team is, where the enemy team is, what do you think about your setup? Obviously, with CCA, we were talking about teleports, but it's the teleports do get to an angle. What do you think about your setup here?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
What do you think of your setup here?
Oh, I mean, I think it's pretty good. Like,
So
it's like a short, like it's like a tight, like room, you know?
Yeah. Now, what happens if they all roll out high ground right now? Okay, so you turn the corner, you see 5 people on high ground. What do you do?
I guess I mean, could I not keep shooting from where I was?
From here? Well, but not from here. No, they're too far away, right? Like, let's say that I'm saying you turn the corner and everybody's here. Bam! Doesn't work.
Oh, right.
Because your
I mean,
problem.
I would have to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would have to take another angle.
So where would you go?
Like teleport across the point, like onto the opposite ledge, if that makes sense.
Yeah, teleport to like here.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks good to me. Because that was your problem. The problem was not that your rollouts were bad. The problem is that you'd roll out assuming they'd go to a spot and they wouldn't be there, and then you would just do nothing. Right? This is good. But what happens if they all went high ground? Would you have adjusted? Like even right now. Yeah, see, this is good. I like this. Sneaky. So let's just make this really simple. Let's just look at your CCA, your setup for every fight, and ignore what happens mid-fight. Okay, this has been like a really messy fight. Holy. Oh, maybe we could look at your setup for this, actually. Let's find out.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You can edit that out, right? I mean, I think it's just like they just kind of like there was no like element of surprise, I guess. Like I wasn't really teleporting to cover.
Okay. Cover from, what did you need cover from?
Oh, from the Symmetra and stuff.
Right, but did you know the Symmetra was there?
No.
What were you teleporting to avoid? Listen. You hear that Hanzo?
Yeah.
Sounded like you were trying to catch the Hanzo. And then you're like, oh my gosh. Press Q. Can I be honest? I actually don't even think it's that bad of a play, honestly. I think it's just a bit unlucky.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like you were trying to CCA. I got a little bit messed up.
Yeah. Okay.
So don't be like a results based. It worked, therefore it was good. It didn't work, therefore it was bad. I think it's okay. I think it's okay.
Okay. Cool.
What do you think about your CCA here?
I mean that was kind of open. I guess when I was walking on that Kiriko, I was like kind of far away. That's what I mean.
So then what would you do differently here?
I think you can like teleport on the ledge on the right, and then
you can.
You can like wrap around the ice.
You can. You can. This is where I'm going to teach a little bit. If you see somebody far away, sometimes you don't go for them. Sometimes you just turn around and shoot from this direction instead.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember, you don't have to go for backline. It just has to be a close angle. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. If you were to go for Kiriko, that would probably be a little bit better. And then obviously, if you want to teleport here, where would you want to teleport to?
Maybe like, sort of, on like the other ledge. I don't know how to explain it, but
like here.
Yeah.
Or up here or something. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but like, Malga's ult is literally just Rhine Shield, basically. Like, you can break it really fast. Like, if you stay in here, especially in Kitsune, and just shoot, you'll probably break it in like one clip. Maybe even faster. Yeah, it's not hard to break. Like, what is she doing? Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know what the plan was there. Okay, CCA here. What do you think?
I'm not sure.
So let's ask it this way. Is there a better spot for you to set up here? Let's say let's say you didn't have perfect information, right? Is there a better spot for you with where the enemy team is likely to come from and where your team is?
Oh, maybe I could be behind that like pillar on the right, I guess.
So like here? So like here?
Yeah.
I like that. That's good. What's different between that and where you are right now?
I guess it would be like an element of surprise, I guess.
Yes, but why?
Yeah.
What about the position gives you an element of surprise?
Well, it's like an angle, I guess.
Yeah, it's an angle. This doesn't really feel like an angle, right? This kind of feels like just, I mean, if I turn the corner here, this is just your entire team looking at me, right? So you're close, but you're not on an angle. This, you're close and on an angle. I agree. I think it's probably a good spot to hide from. And so this right here, what happens when you see this? What should you do?
Maybe just leave.
Just leave. They've backed off. They know you're there. That's okay. You've done your job. Back off. They're out of the fight. Or drop. Find everything. Don't force it. This is reaching. Yeah, it's just never gonna work. You see that? Like, that was never gonna work at that distance. Remember, we had a little bit of that with the Cassidy in the previous round, right? Where it was like you were really convinced that you're just gonna get to this guy and he's just too far away. Now that is funny. Did you just see that?
I didn't even notice it when I was playing. That's crazy.
I want to see how close you guys got. So
No
what ends up
way.
happening is because you're not on an angle and because you forced an engage too far away, you get cleared out, and then you're basically MIA for like 10 seconds. You have this major, major downtime. This is good, but I don't think it's going to be enough to win. Yeah, it's not going to be enough to win. Okay, let's watch one more, and let's see how you look. Thoughts?
Mm. I mean, yeah, it seems okay, I guess.
Yeah, I think so too. It's pretty sneaky, right? It's on an angle, it's short, it's well timed, right? Yeah, seems okay to me. Like, I even like the Wraith Discipline there. That's pretty good there.
Thanks.
Honestly, I wouldn't even necessarily run from the Malga. If he's here, just shoot him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to go... Again, you don't have to force a kill on squishies. You can just shoot what's close. You can kill anything. Like, you can kill anything here. I think that's a mistake there. Okay, so let's take some notes. Let's take some details here to work on here. Okay, so Reaper, what are some things to work on besides the mindset stuff? What are some specific things to work on?
Like teleporting from cover to cover.
CCA, cover
Yeah.
to cover and angle. Focus on your setups. Closing the distance at the right time. And I like I said at the start of our discussion, that is going to be the most important thing as a Reaper. Okay, what else? When we were trying to set up your angles, you would roll out, but you wouldn't adjust, right? So adjust your angle off of what? What are you adjusting your angle based off of?
The position of, like, where the fight is happening.
Mm-hmm. On where the fight is happening. Don't just memorize positions. Be flexible. You need to memorize principles, not positions, right? Like short, off angle, right? CCA, right? Where does CCA apply here? Where does CCA apply here? Where does CCA apply here? It's going to change all the time, okay? Anything else?
My timing, I occasionally mess that up. Like,
Timing mid-fight with TPs, good to check team's positioning. Was always good at the start of a fight, but sometimes lost focus mid-fight. And that's normal. Like it's very, very, very difficult to have good timing mid-fight because there's so much crap happening on. But you need to kind of take that evaluation and turn around and check. Okay. Any questions?
no, I think that's it.
Okay. Good luck with your practice.